The bell that once signaled the start of a dreary day in a landlocked classroom was replaced by the cry of a distant gull and the gentle, rhythmic lap of waves against a hull. This was the Aequorea, the world's first dream school, a living vessel of learning that turned the planet's greatest frontier, the ocean, into its campus. Imagine trading stale air for salty breezes, fluorescent lights for dappled sunlight refracted through water, and the rumble of buses for the symphony of the sea. Here, learning wasn't absorbed, it was experienced, lived, and breathed. Imagine floating futures. Consider this shocking reality. 71% of our planet is water, yet we educate 99% of our children solely on the remaining land. We confine vast, curious minds to static, often stifling boxes, while a universe of fluid wonder and untapped knowledge remains literally at our shores, unexplored. The Aequorea was conceived as the radical antidote. It wasn't merely a school, it was a sentient ecosystem, a beacon of environmental stewardship designed to nurture the next generation of planetary guardians. Can you picture a library where the walls themselves pulse with a soft, learned bioluminescence, where books seem to float on air, and the very act of reading is illuminated by nature's gentle glow? Or a playground woven from resilient, flowing kelp forests where students dart and play among curious fish, their laughter bubbling to the surface? This was no longer a daydream. It was their breathtaking, everyday reality. Architectural wonders on waves. The school's design was a masterclass in biomimicry, a love letter to the sea penned in steel, graphene, and recycled polymers. Architects didn't just build for the ocean, they deciphered and replicated its genius. The central Great Hall, modeled after the elegant, pressure-resistant geometry of a sea-urchin's test, housed a thriving communal space where light filtered through hexagonal panes. Inflatable jellyfish-inspired modules, medusae rooms, provided buoyant, flexible classrooms that could be reconfigured, docked, or detached in hours, allowing the school's layout to evolve with its curriculum. Corridors weren't mere hallways but transparent ocean veins, offering continuous 360-degree vistas into the cerulean deep, where a passing pod of dolphins could instantly transform a physics lesson on propulsion. Sustainability wasn't a feature, it was the core metabolism of the Aequorea. Hydrokinetic fins beneath the hull harvested the ocean's constant motion, while solar sails unfurled like the majestic wings of a gigantic manta ray, gorged on sunlight. A state-of-the-art desalination system, mimicking the fractal efficiency of mangrove roots, provided all the fresh water needed. The school wasn't just self-sufficient, it was eco-positive, leaving cleaner water and collected microplastics transformed into building material in its wake. Curriculum beyond classrooms. Here, marine biology wasn't a dusty chapter in a textbook. It was the morning's first heart-pounding encounter. Students, suited up, would slip into the water to gently tag a leatherback turtle with a Deep Sea Ventures AI monitor, their data pulsing instantly to a global conservation network. Mathematics became the critical calculation of tidal forces for navigation or the structural stress loads on their coral reef restoration frames. History was absorbed not from dates, but from sailing into a historic Polynesian harbor, learning celestial navigation from elder wayfinders, or debating sustainable policy with officials in a thawing Arctic coastal town. They weren't students, they were apprentice planetary citizens. Art exploded in this liquid world. In the symphonic Deep studio, composers wove haunting whale songs and the crackling chorus of pistol shrimp into immersive soundscapes that vibrated in your bones. In the driftwood atelier, sculptures rose defiantly from reclaimed ocean plastics and smoothed driftwood. The pinnacle was the bioluminescence lab, where students, under careful guidance, cultivated dinoflagellates and other microorganisms, painting with living light to create ephemeral masterpieces that danced and swirled in the dark, teaching lessons in chemistry, biology, and transient beauty simultaneously. Life aboard the learning vessel. A day aboard the Aequorea was a symphony of collaboration, responsibility, and wonder. Dawn commenced with mindful movement on the sunrise deck, followed by a shared breakfast sourced from the onboard hydroponic food systems and aquaponic tilapia ponds, a zero-waste cycle they maintain themselves. Learning happened in agile pods. Small groups tackling a 6-week project to design a submersible for a specific bathymetric zone, or orchestrating a real-time data stream from a deployed hydrophone array to track a humpback migration. This fostered a profound, unbreakable sense of community. Every student had an essential role tending the verdant vertical gardens, assisting the marine engineer on duty, standing watch on the bridge. They weren't just classmates, they were crew, a school family navigating literal and metaphorical storms together. When a squall would rage, lessons pivoted seamlessly to meteorology, resilience, and the calm execution of safety protocols. They didn't just learn about problem solving, they lived it, their confidence forged in the forge of real, meaningful challenge. Your dream, our future. The journey of the Aequorea is just the first wave cresting. What impossible feature would your dream school hold? A geothermal vent microbiology lab? A synchronized floating habitat for rehabilitating injured marine mammals? The possibilities are as deep and boundless as the sea itself. This is more than a novel school design. It's a seismic shift in consciousness. By shattering the walls of the traditional classroom, we unlock radical empathy for our blue planet. We cultivate not just scholars, but stewards, innovators, and compassionate explorers. The Aequorea proves that education can be a thrilling voyage of co-creation with the world it aims to understand and protect. It is a living blueprint for a future where learning doesn't just prepare us for the world, it actively, joyfully remakes it. What other impossible learning environments shall we manifest next? A mycelium network classroom woven through a redwood forest? A zero-gravity science station? The horizon is not the limit, it's merely our starting point.